This is Note Taking Guide 11.5. Today we're going to talk about two-way frequency tables and how to answer questions by using them. So it says use the frequency table to answer the questions. You survey friends about the type of party that they enjoy most. And then there's just this table here that totally shows you about boys, girls, and the totals. And then bowling, skating, dancing, and the totals. So all of the information that we need is right on this chart to answer the questions below. So looking at that chart, what type of party do you think you would plan for them? Well, I would look at the totals over here to see how many people liked the parties, what kind of party the most. And it looks like you have the most friends who like skating. So I would put a skating party together for my friends because the most of them liked the skating. And then it says write a valid conclusion from the graph. And I would write something like skating is the most popular with males and females. Total, but the females clearly like skating more over bowling and dancing. So you could write anything that talked about how you can use the data on the table to write a statement from that. The boys did not like skating the most. Actually, if we're looking at this, the boys liked bowling the most, but overall the most number of people were liking skating the most. All right, this next frequency table says 8th grade students were asked whether they participated in after-school activities. Complete the two-way frequency table below. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the blanks here. So we know that this column right here has to add up to 197. So if I already know 95, I'm going to do 187 minus 95, and that's going to give me my total to put in this spot right here. So this is going to be 92. Then we can go and figure out more information. Now I can come over here and find this spot right here because I know that this direction they have to add up to be 92. So I can do 92 minus 40 and I can get 52 right here. Then I know that this direction they have to add up to be 102. So I can add those together and I know that 50 has to be here. I know this direction they have to add to be 95. So I know that this is going to be 45, which helps me add straight down right here to be 85. So we just fill out the frequency tables by making sure that they add up to the correct totals. This next one says students were polled about whether or not they owned an iPod. The results are shown below with percentages. Complete the chart below and then decide whether or not did the students have iPods or not, more iPods or not. So looking here again, 42% plus what percent equals 75%? Well, that percent would have to be 33%. And then we know that these two add together to be 100, so we know that this has to be 25%. And then we can just keep going around to find more. We know that this direction they have to add to 100. So we know that this one right here has to be 45%. Then I can add straight down right here to find the percent. 33 plus 12% would be 45%, so 12% right here. And then I could go that last direction and find out that this is 13% right here. So now that I have all those totals written in, I can decide did more students have iPods or not. Well, the total of students who had iPods were 55%, so we would put the more had iPods. And then it says if there were a total of 88 students, how many of them were 8th graders? Well, 25% of them were 8th graders. So we do 88 students times 25%, which is 0.25, and we would know that 22 students are 8th graders. Using that relative frequency table again, we're talking about that. This is another one about iPods here. It says the chart below represents the relative frequency of people who had an iPod. Complete the two-way frequency table. So again, these are probabilities here, and they still have to add up to the right number. So this direction, when we add up, we get 0.19. This direction, when we add up, has to be a 0.30 here. And then this 0.27 plus 0.03 gives us the 30. And then we can add straight down right here to get 0.22. And then go the opposite direction here to get 0.78. So again, just doing frequency tables in another method using a different kind of number. All right, number 5 says here, below is a table of people in the park and the activities that they do. Complete the relative frequency table below based on the total participants. First, complete the table, and then we'll go down and we'll answer some questions. So if we're going across this direction, these numbers add to 23. We know that 23 plus 27 would give us 50. We can fill in the blank right next to the 27 because it would have to be 15 in order to add up correctly. We can go 4 plus 1 right here to get 5, 9 plus 11 right here to get 20, and then we know everything adds up correctly. If I want to go and I want to figure it out, it says write a relative frequency table. There's 50 people. We would divide each number by 50. So I would come up here and I would go 9 from that one, divide it by 50, and I would get 18.18 right here. I would do 4 divided by 50 and get 0.08. I would do 10 divided by 50 and get 0.2. And if I want one more over, then I would do 23 divided by 50 and get 0.46. So I would just keep dividing each one of these numbers by 50 to get the value. 27 divided by 50 is 0.54. I know that those have to add up together to be 1. This one's going to be 0.3 when I divide by 50, and then those add together to be 0.5. 1 divided by 50 is 0.02. These add together to be 0.1. But we could also do 5 divided by 50. Anyways, I'm just taking all those numbers on the chart up above, and I'm dividing them by 50 to get my new numbers. Now let's answer the questions on this. It says, one person is chosen at random. Write down the probability that the person is Mel. So let's look at this and let's just look at the Mel spot. Well, here's Mel's. How many of them that are Mel? There's 46% or 0.46. So my answer there would be 0.46. The next question says the person flies a kite. Well, the total of people that fly kites is right here, so 0.1. The person picnics. Well, if we're looking at the people that picnic, we're looking right here at the 0.5. The person is Mel and flies a kite. So we're going Mel, which is this direction. Flies a kite, which is right here. So 0.08. And the person is female. For the last one would have to be 0.54. So that's just how we read frequency tables and use them to find probabilities. Good luck on your homework.